So, we are back for another week of soapy fun, and this week we are going to be dropping a playlist on all things botanical extracts versus essential oils. The reason I'm doing this is because while we were doing the Project Soapway beard oil, beard balm challenge, there were actually a lot of questions that came up in the live chats while we were dropping the videos, as well as just comments in general, asking about, well, the differences between a botanical extract versus an essential oil. So that's what this week is going to focus on because you know what? We haven't done that guy yet. And also, we don't really talk about essential oils a whole lot on the channel. So while we might get into that in this series, if we don't, we're certainly going to have another, round of this. So we can talk all things essential oils and get you guys a nice primer for what you should and should not be using within your soaps and cosmetics. And I will tell you more about this playlist and all the things in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for week 29, I think. And as I said, an all things botanical extracts versus essential oils playlist, wherein we are going to talk about the differences between a botanical extract and an essential oil, talk about the usage, how they should be used, where you can source them, and what to really look for in an extract versus the product that you're trying to make in your cosmetics, in your soaps, oil-based, water-based, all of the jazz. So that's what we're going to do. Today, we are going to start off with just actually defining and talking about the differences between an extract and an essential oil, why they're similar, why they're different. And we're going to do a voiceover on that, probably over just some footage of me building a spreadsheet database for the sudsers that are in the Discord. So let's get to that, and we can go ahead and define some terms so we know what we're working with moving forward. Okay, so first up in our essential oils versus botanical extracts, what are the differences, right? And we know that they are both derived from plants, but they do differ in terms of their actual makeup, their composition, and the way that they are extracted. And so these are the big differences. So let's go ahead and talk about them. First up is going to be the composition, as I said. Now, essential oils, as we know, they're very, very concentrated oils, and they're pretty volatile in their creation in that they do have flash points and they can essentially lose so much of the value of an essential oil from a number of ways: exposure to sun, too much heat, etc., and so forth. And they are typically extracted from all kinds of parts of the plant, so the leaves, the flowers, the stems, sometimes the roots, and they have a very strong aroma as well as flavor in most cases of the plant that they come from. So peppermint oil, for example, smells exactly like peppermints, tastes exactly like peppermint. And as far as scent, we, again, very, very strong aromas. Your rosemaries, your rose, your peppermints, your lavenders, they smell like the thing they came from, for sure. Now, botanical extracts, on the other hand, they are also extracted from the different parts of the plants. So, the leaves and the flowers and the stems and the roots and all of that. But they do tend to contain a broader range of components of like compounds such as fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and other parts of the plant. They do not smell like the plant that it came from, and they do not taste like the plant that it came from. So there is your first difference, the composition. Second up, big one, extraction method. Essential oils usually are extracted through like steam distillation, cold pressing, or maybe even a solvent extraction, depending on what essential oil you're working with. And it's meant to capture the smell of the plant itself, these extraction processes. Now, botanical extracts, on the other hand, while they can be obtained through a lot of different techniques, such as like smashing them up or infusing an oil or a water or a glycerin or a solvent extraction, it really does depend on how much of the components you want to extract and what type of plant material it really is, but it is not meant to capture the aroma itself. So there is something to keep in mind. Now, to aroma and flavor. As I said, essential oils. One of the reasons for this type of extraction is, again, for their scent and their flavor, and typically used in aromatherapy and perfumes, and just lending that scent to other products. Because they are so highly concentrated, they can be very dangerous with all of the compounds that come out of them, though, because they are so potent. Botanical extracts, though, they're usually odorless, as I said, and they are not nearly as concentrated or potent as far as skin sensitivity concerns. Now, for applications, essential oils, again, as I said, they're usually used in aromatherapy, personal care products, cleaning products, or, natural, quote unquote, natural remedies for different ailments. They are usually diluted before they are put on the skin in the form of a carrier oil. And there are a lot of contraindications that come with essential oils. So you must be careful with certain ones if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Some cannot be safe for children. All of the jazz. Botanical extracts, on the other hand, they are a much broader range of use because they don't have any of the things that are really going to be trigger points for skin sensitivities or, different reactions in a person because of the way that they are extracted and really how they are packaged. So you can use, and typically should use, botanical extracts over an essential oil in your skincare products. You'll also find them in food and beverages and herbal supplements. The reason why extracts are going to be more commonly used for our applications for soaps and cosmetics is going to be first, essential oils being so highly concentrated, a little bit goes a long way. And so if you overshoot the amount of essential oils you're putting into a leave-on product, it can yield a skin sensitivity for your end user, which is not a good idea. Another problem with all of that is there is a very high cost, a very big price point for essential oils over a botanical extract. So with botanical extracts, you can definitely use more of them and not have to worry about any sort of skin sensitivities or contraindications. And there is definitely a cheaper price point. But yeah, that's a pretty good crash course on the differences between botanical extracts and essential oils. And we will talk more about the specific uses for botanical extracts and essential oils within this playlist, what they are best used for, whether or not they have the same ingredients and the same benefits from an essential oil to a botanical extract. But I did just want to start out with a nice easy primer while we start to build this list of, essential oils and botanical extracts, so we have a nice cheat sheet handy for our membered sudsers. And there it is, a quick primer on botanical extracts and essential oils, what their differences are, what their similarities are, and really the pros and cons of each of them. So I guess the biggest thing is going to be, for the pros and cons, you're going to be looking at composition, potential allergic reactions, potential contraindications, and price point. And of course, personal preference, because that's always going to be the biggest factor in all of your decision making when you're making a soap or a cosmetic. If you really want that rosemary scent to shine through in, your products, then yeah, obviously go for a rosemary essential oil over an extract, because rosemary extracts do not smell like the rosemary essential oil. But as long as you are staying within the safety guidelines of your essential oils, which can be a problem in and of itself, you should still get the nice scent from your essentials. Now, coming up in the rest of this playlist, we are going to talk about the different benefits of probably the top 50 botanical extracts versus essential oils, and whether or not they actually are like a one-to-one, right? So the benefits of a rosemary essential oil versus the benefits of a rosemary extract, and whether or not you could or should swap an extract out for an essential oil or vice versa. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this playlist. If you have any questions, because we are filming this in real time, make sure to drop them in the comment section below. Anything specifically you would like me to talk about with botanical extracts, how deep you would like me to get into all of this, I would love to hear from you for sure. For the, spreadsheet that I'm creating, that is available to my membered sudsers in the Discord. So that will be available as a Google, spreadsheet. At the end of this playlist, we are building it together. And if you see anything that you want me to include on the spreadsheet while we're watching that, just let me know for sure. But to that, I want to thank the Sudsers for being in the Discord and doing all the things. And, the Sudsers that exist on the YouTube too. You guys are awesome as well. For everybody else that exists and haven't clicked a button to subscribe or like, I mean, fine. Hi. It's weird that you're still refusing to click a button, but fun. Yeah, for sure. I'm out of here, but stay tuned for part 2 of the series where we will dive in deeper into botanical extracts, their uses, where to source them, what you should use, water-based versus oil-based, all of the jazz, soon. So thank you again for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Botanical extract fun. Bye. Yeah, I really do think that the kids, when they dropped my thing, they broke my camera. It looks really weird. It's like really grainy. Is this maybe just the. I hope it's not grainy. I hope it's just the screen. Both screens look diffy though. Eh.